Yeah, what's up, guys? Good morning. It is whatever time it is on your. That's actually right. It's 6:45 ish. I'm actually on a different case than I was earlier. I actually got me some tacos, and I'm reeling from the hot sauce because it is so good, but it's so hot. It is a, well, look, I can do this. It is a potato and egg, and that red stuff you see is hot sauce. That's killing me right now. I don't know what I think about this view, but yeah, this case that I'm on now, the client didn't even tell us why they want us watching him. We don't know if it's insurance fraud. We don't know if it's no compete. We don't know if it's cheating spouse. Literally. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Let's go. Won't just hang around in there. Anyway, I guess not. So anyway, I've got this. I don't know if you guys have taco palenque. I don't know if that's how you say it. Man, their tacos are. They taste homemade. I don't know if I like the camera right in my face. Maybe you guys don't either. I don't know. Oh, that's a good taco right there. I'm not even anywhere near the guy's house. I drove by his house this morning. No cars, no lights on, no nothing. Healthy living for less. There's a big, huge truck. Sprouts! A big, huge truck driving over the overpass, and all I could see was healthy living for less. Anyway, does that mean I have ADHD? No. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, what I was trying to say, there was no cars, no lights on, no nothing. And lives on a dead-end little cul-de-sac, real short. And of course, there was the one neighbor that watched me drive through. He was outside. I'm serious, 6 o'clock this morning. I guess it's trash day, which I need to see if my subject put his trash out. Because if he did, he's probably home. Or he could have put it out the night before. But I am literally cooling off right now because the neighbor was just like intently staring at me. And I'm just kind of waiting for sunrise and some buildings and where I'm gonna park. Just would look better if the sun was up. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I hear you. That I'm risking the guy leaving right now. But, you know, sometimes you gotta work these cases. There's always another day. I've been doing this for 25 years. Has it been 25? Yeah, 25 years. And it's just like fishing and hunting. I like to work cases in little bits and pieces and not overstay my welcome. And a lot of clients that I get want to just stay out there for 12 hours, 15 hours, whether there's no activity. And I don't agree with that, because you overstay your welcome. You make the neighbors nervous, especially today with all the cameras. Nowadays, you can drive by somebody's house and they got a camera and they get a notification on their phone. And, that vehicle, I've never seen that vehicle before. And then you're in their head. Normally in this line of work, you really don't ever get in their head. They're so occupied with devices and phones. People are addicted to their phones. Like when I follow people now, when they stop at a stoplight, stop sign, they get on their phone. First thing, while they're driving, on their phone. I mean, I follow people for a living. I can pull up next to them. A trick that I do is I like to pull up next to people at a light. And usually if people know they're being followed, they can't help themselves. Because, I mean, I get it. It's a little scary. It's a lot scary. You know, and they can't help but look over or peek over or something. The amount of... And then people get out of the car on their phones. I don't know how people don't get carjacked and abducted and kidnapped. But it's, yeah, my point is that in that same vein of being addicted to your phone, people have cameras everywhere now. They're affordable. They're cheap. They're disposable, you know, like Ring and Blink and all that stuff. So, if I drive by a house and see a camera outside, I usually won't even try to drive by. What is this guy yo-yo looking at? He's like staring at... This guy's walking in the grocery store. He must like Toyotas or something. And he's walking in the grocery store like he's going to the gym. Anyway, you get the point. I'm going to finish my taco. It's gotten cold. I drove through the drive-thru and they have excellent tacos. Taco Palenque. But I guess because it's so authentic, I could hardly communicate with them. Even with the stuff on the menu, I couldn't even order a drink. You have any Coke? Large water? I guess that's all they had was water. I don't know. That's all that they would say. I don't know how you confuse them. Agua with coca. Whatever. That's the cost of getting good tacos. So, I think I told you guys already. This new camera that I have, it's a body camera. It's like a dash cam / body cam. In other words, it's got a battery that can be used, you know, for like 5 hours at a time. One of the big... Let me get this bite now. And maybe a lot of you guys are getting into this industry. Alright, what's up guys? So this is an example of what I was telling y'all. I am going to walk by the subject's house. I'm going to take you guys with me. And it's a cul-de-sac and I've driven by way too many times. So I'm going to actually walk by and see what's going on. So yeah, you guys are gonna go with me. This is a new one, but let me see if I can get this clipped on right. Yep. Not going to be the... Now. Want to arrest you or call the cops. All the police have been notified. And you're not going to get arrested anyway. And, you know, you give them the letter that says, hey, this has been a security test. Do not detain this individual. Do not arrest this individual. They're pretty interesting because they give you the floor plans and how you could get in and what's the best approach and what time to go. And I mean, you talk it over and you try scenarios and you try again and you just keep hammering their security. It's a little bit cringe, and I hate even using that word but it is cringy because, you know, as a private investigator, you are covert. And then all of a sudden you have to just jump out of your comfort zone and go try to be visible. Oh, and yeah, at the end of it, they want you to go outside and shoot video and record and take pictures of the front of the building until they approach you. So yeah, it's like a 180 from what I do normally. Anyway, I'm all over the map here, but I'm in a talkative mood this morning. So anyway, I've been using body cams, and number one, it's just because I can see that it's recording. You know what I mean? Like, this camera I'm recording with right now is the one that I use. This thing will also, I can throw it up here and it can be a dash camera. But I'm going to get a different dash camera because I use it a lot. And taking it up and down is not practical because you're not always going to do that, and then you're going to miss something. And I use a dash camera a lot for my job. Somebody does a U-turn or goes across 5 lanes of traffic or does something crazy, you can save that video and put it in your report. Now, is a body camera as covert as a pair of glasses? No, absolutely not. I can see the screen. The screen actually goes off. I can turn the screen off. But you can see the lens. I can see the lens right now. When I wear that, you know, people, if they're looking for it, they can see it. But mainly, I use it whenever I'm tailing somebody that's not obvious. You know, like if I'm going into a grocery store or a big, you know, shopping center, a mall, or Walmart, Albertsons, whatever. I can stick this thing on the back, you know, like a workman's comp case. I can grab this thing and put it on my shopping basket and follow somebody in and just, they're never going to notice it. They're never going to notice it. Trust me. The problem with the glasses is that when they go out, it's the worst time ever. When they don't want to record, it's the worst time ever. You know, it's the biggest client. And another thing, don't ever tell a client that you got video unless you check it first. Anyway, I've talked enough. I need to go back to my case. The sun's up. So I'll be back with you guys later. Anyway, that's another topic for another video. But covert video is a big deal. But it's also a crappy industry. It used to be, there used to be a few companies and spy companies and stuff around, you know, when the internet came out, and especially Amazon. They kind of all went defunct. I can't remember. There was one that had a military name that I think they're still in business. What is their name? I used to get some stuff from them. They used to sell a fake cell phone that if you carried it around now, I mean, it was a smartphone at the time, but if you carried that around now, you would get laughed out of the location you were at. I was always worried somebody was gonna ask me what time it was, or because it looked like a smartphone. It was just a, you know, like the old, like almost like when the Blackberries were still around. Lawman or Lawmate, that's the name of their company. Law something, I can't remember. They sold a fake cell phone, and their stuff was decent. You know what I mean? Before that, it was like, and I mean the late 90s, early 2000s, you know, if you were going to be real legit with recording covert video, you had a video camera base with no camera on it. It was just a square recorder that held a tape and no lens, and you plugged wires into it, and then those wires went to a device with a lens, and you would put it, you know, like wherever, like a button cam, and you had a bunch of different buttons, white, black, and I mean, I can remember painting them with markers and spray paint to match other buttons. And they were so, I mean, these things were huge, like big enough to hold. It was like a mini VCR is what I'm trying to tell you. It was like, you know, huge. I mean, and you're putting this inside your pants or your jacket. If you had to do this in the summer in a southern, I mean, in a hot climate, are those really birds on top of the grocery store, or are they fake birds to keep real birds from coming? Oh, they're real birds. One just flew away. If I could zoom in, I'd show you, but you won't be able to see it. Anyway, I remember one time I had an undercover case in Colorado. No, I'm lying. It was Park City, Utah. Matter of fact, Jennifer Aniston was in Park City the same time I was. I never saw her. This was probably 20 years ago. Yeah, easy. And I had this undercover mess that I just told you about. And I went into the bathroom and set it all up, made sure it was recording. And I'll never forget, I went to the bar and my subject was in the bar, and this whole device came undone and was working its way down my, like gravity was pulling it down my pants, and the wires that were hooked to the whatever I had at the time, it was either a button or some kind of pin. The problem with all that stuff is you could be recording the ceiling fan the whole night and not even know it. And that actually happened to me. I had this same device on, and I was down in a beach town inside a very, very seedy bar, if you want to call it that. And I don't remember how I did this, but I had a camera in a cowboy hat, and it was in the front of it. Like, I had cut the hat and screwed the lens through. And I don't remember if I had all the wiring coming down. I don't think I would have done that. But anyway, I think it was a standalone unit. And I wanted it on the cowboy hat because I think that's all I had or something. I don't remember. Anyway, this was years later when technology had advanced, and I had been recording this person all night, like for 2 hours. Went out to my vehicle to check the video, and it was 2 hours of recording the ceiling fans. The camera had, under the weight or something, had tilted and was recording the video. Luckily, I caught it and reconfigured my camera and went back inside and got the video I needed. Anyway, my point with telling you guys all this is that you almost need to have video that you can see that it's recording. You know what I mean? Now, some of them will visually give you an indication that they're recording. Like, I have a pair of glasses. I think I've made a video on them before, and I've had 3 or 4 or 5, there's no telling how many pairs of spy glasses I've owned. I hate calling them spy glasses, but that's what they are. And they don't last very long. And I take very good care of them. But they just don't last very long. I've had pivot head. They were great. They were like sunglasses, and I could, like, wraparounds, and I could put them on top of my hat. Those were amazing. But when they went out, they went out. They were done. You can get those on eBay still. Pivot head. I think the company went out of business. They don't stay in business long. And then, obviously, after Amazon came out, everybody jumped. All the companies went to Amazon. So, if you guys ever want to know where I get my equipment, it's Amazon. Now, a lot of people these days use this. They use their cell phone, which I'm going to tell you right now, unless you want your phone seized and put into evidence, don't use your phone. Ask me how I know. Now, I personally don't use my phone, but I know people who have. And I know people who've gotten their phone seized for evidence because it's been in a big high-profile case, and their phone is deemed evidence because it has the video on it when they want the original video or original photographs. So I'm just warning you guys out there that are using your phone to take all your video. And some of these newer kids, millennials or Gen Zs or whatever the hell they're called, they just don't know how to use a video camera. I mean, this is, you guys have seen me use my video camera. I use an old school Sony flip out screen, you know, video camera. It is digital HD, it's got a SIM card and all that. But the ultimate thing, I usually like to use two sources of covert video. If one doesn't work, just like for instance, I had to do a test, a security breach test the other day on a company. That's another. But anyway, we don't have any visible vehicles at the house. And didn't have any outside lights on or any lights on inside the house either. So I don't know. We're making our way back to my surveillance vehicle. This is the main way out, and I'm parked down here. So it just makes sense for them to come towards me unless they work going towards the other way. Here comes the school bus that's going to drown the sound out. I'm actually parked at a funeral home, but I'm having to watch every car that goes by because I can't tell if he possibly might be leaving. Now I know all the vehicles that he has registered to him, but his trash can is out, which is telling me that he's maybe there and keeps his vehicles inside the garage. So I don't know. We're gonna hang around. I got here at 6 a.m. But anyway, that was just a little. There's my car. That's the same car I've been using ever since I've been doing this. YouTube channel. You guys have probably never seen the outside of it, but it's a black Toyota Camry. Okay. So yeah, anyway, that was a walk by.
Road is taking up a left lane, about a 15-minute delay as you stop and go from